I would stand behind the lectern, but I'd look like a talking head. You would just see my chin. So it had been a very long day, and I was ready to go home, take off my shoes, drop into bed. The Central Committee meeting had been a long meeting, and I was done. I had one small thing to say to the chair of the Democratic Party. I went up to talk to Ruth, and there was a woman standing behind me. And I turned around and I said, "Oh, I'm almost done. I'll get out of your way and then you can talk to Ruth." And she said, "Oh no, I want to talk to you." And I was like, what did I do? I'm sure I did it. I'm sure whatever she thinks I did, I did. I'll just apologize and say I'm sorry. So I take her aside. We go to a small corner in the room off to the side, and she turns to me and she looks me in the eye and she says, "You were so brave. You were so brave. You stood in front of those dangerous men and you said, 'No more.'" Now, I think she was talking about my early days at Turning Point, when we just did what we did because it was the right thing to do. And I looked at her and said, oh. She said, "No, they were dangerous. And you stood in front of them and you said, 'No more.'" I said, "Well, you did the hard work. You left. You stepped away. You were courageous." And she said, "But you showed us what it looked like." And I'm so grateful. I'm married now. My husband's a good man. I have 2 children. We own our home and we own a business. My life is good. Thank you. Then she walked away. I'm looking at you, Judy, because those were early days. I had no idea. I wouldn't have said, "Oh, I'm the one." At the time, I wouldn't have said that. I would have said, "This is the right thing to do. We do it because it's the right thing to do." And because I have this story about myself, which is, I don't have to, you can't make me. Kind of belligerent, a little feisty. I like a good fight. I'll roll in the mud. I'm kind of not, surrender is not in my vocabulary. Obedience, well, that's out the window. No. But I had no recollection. And I think that's what happens for us sometimes. We are all called, all of us, every single one of us are called in big and small ways to be a part of the world we live in. Not everybody will do what I do, but you will do it the way you do it. It's just that we don't trust our inner voices. We don't listen long enough or strong enough to hear the call. Most of the things I've done throughout my life, I've done without really actually thinking about them. And most of the things I've done that have been really transformative for me were a no in the beginning. No, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that. No, I don't want to run for office. No, I don't want to walk across the Midwest 935 miles. No, I don't want to do that. I fight until I'm too tired, and then I capitulate. Because the thing that transforms us is often the thing we don't really want to do because it's hard. I met with a young man yesterday who said to me, "I want my life to be significant. I'm disappointed because it's not. But I'm silent because of the world we live in. My wife and I have decided not to have children, to bring them into the world." And I said, "Well, what if your children are the ones who will save the world? I mean, I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know." He goes, "And I want to do good, but I want to do it from inside my house where it's safe and where no one will bother me." And I was kind of like, oh, it doesn't really work that way. You can't hide out in your house if you want to make a difference in the world. You step beyond the comfort of your life into something new. Step out of resignation. I can't do anything. Who am I? What can I do? One person. What can I do? I don't know. What can you do? The question is, what are you willing to do? Now, we live in uncertain times. We do. And it would be false not just to recognize that. To recognize that the way of life that we thought would be is no longer. We don't know how we're going to be called. I only know that each and every one of us will be called to do something, because nobody gets to sit on the sidelines in the life we want to create. We all have something to contribute. We all have a gift to put forth, to use in service to others. And you all know that because this community does this and has been doing it for years. Stepping up, picking up the slack, feeding the hungry, caring for people who don't have homes, over and over supporting the LGBTQI plus community. Tree of Life has always been there. You're going to be called into even greater realms in the future. But before you do that, it's important to listen. Now, we're so distracted, we're so busy, we have such busyness. You know, we get between 3,000 and 5,000 messages a day. So our brains filter them for us. And we don't stop to listen to the voice of the universe, the spirit of the universe whispering to us, this is what I call you to do for my world. So I'm going to work one morning. Now, listen, I want to be clear. When you're called, you don't have to like it. You don't. You can be like snarly. You can say, no, I don't want to do that. Or you could really say, hey, why me? Let somebody else do it. You know, I do enough. I don't need to do anymore. So I'm on my way to work. I'm in my car, and I'm coming to the stop sign, and there's a bird on the road. And it's not flying, it's on the road. And I'm like, damn. I think it's fine. I think it's going to get up. It's just in shock. I'm sure it's okay. And I go through the stop sign, and I'm going down, and I'm like, damn, if it's laying on the road, it's probably not fine, it's probably hurt, and it'll probably die a torturous death. It will be my fault. I go around the block, I get out of my car, I say to the bird, are you okay? And the bird's like, what? Do I look okay? I'm laying on the ground. So I pick the bird up, I put it in a cloth I have in my car, I go home, I put it in a box, I keep syringes on hand just for these kind of things. I give it water, and I say, look, I gotta go to work. When I come back, if you need more, we'll take the next step, right? I go to work, I come home, I open the box, and the bird flies away. And I'm like, oh, it just needed a nap. Needed a nap in a safe place. Okay, one time there was a turtle. That didn't work out the same way, but that's a different story. We don't need to do. The fact is that sometimes when you're called to be the one in small and large ways, even in small ways, we say, I don't want to, but it plagues me. For me, if I see that and I don't step up, I'll have regret. I'll feel like I should have done something, I didn't do it, and so it falls on me. But I know what that voice sounds like when it calls me forth. I wrestle with myself every day. What do I do now? Who am I called to be now in this world that we live in now? How do I make a difference now? Can I make a difference now? It's hard. It's exhausting. Yet, I am hopeful. I am very hopeful. Being the one doesn't mean we do things alone. It doesn't mean that we put ourselves out there by ourselves without people around us, people who care about us, friends or families, to align with us, to walk with us, to do the things that we do. You know, in 1933, Winston Churchill went to Germany to do research on his Marlborough uncle or something, whatever he was. And when he was there, he noticed that Germany was refitting itself. And he came back to Parliament and said, Germany is preparing to go to war. They ignored him. They called him a warmonger. 1939, Germany invaded Poland, and we were at war. And from 1939 to 1941, Churchill refused to surrender. He was the lone person that stopped the spread of fascism to Britain. He never gave up. He was not alone. His family was there with him. He went out after the bombings. He walked the streets. He talked to people. He was called and shaped for that moment. The sacrifice that he made and to his family. And Churchill was a little wonky. He's kind of a wonky guy. I think you got to be a wonky guy to stand up in front of that kind of violence and hate and say, no, stop. You will not come here. We will not surrender. And they didn't. For us, the bombing of Pearl Harbor was horrible. For the British, it was a gift because it drew the United States into the war, and the rest is history. Being the one doesn't mean you're alone. Being the one doesn't mean that you can't make a difference with people around you. So I encourage you, find your people. Do not be alone in the world we live in now. It's vital that you know how to take care of yourself. Like you're the first person you take care of, not the third, not the fourth. You cannot take care of others unless you take care of you. You cannot give away what you don't have, and people who tell me they can, well, they're wrong. I'm opinionated, I have opinions. Holding on to myself, holding myself accountable to be the person I want to be in the world is hard work. I sleep. I get plenty of sleep. Science tells us one of the most important things for your health is good, solid sleep. I eat well. I exercise. Okay, if I'm having a really bad day, I go and get a McDonald's double cheeseburger. Okay, I just want to confess. I mean, sometimes you just got to have that goo, and I know it's not real food, but I don't care. I don't care. So when you're feeling really bad, find your comfort spot, go do it, and forgive yourself. Move on. I mean, think about the woman who stopped me at that meeting. She looked bright and vibrant. I could tell that she had been taking care of her life, and now she wanted to take care of others. We take care of ourselves because we're important and we're critical to the work we want to do in the world. Trust your intuition. You know you better than anybody else. Your intuition is your voice into the world. If it tells you no, listen to it. But get curious. Be curious about that voice. We just don't listen to ourselves, and we don't trust ourselves. We use words like, oh, that was weird, or that's crazy. That's your intuition. That's the universe speaking to you through your heart. It knows what's best for you. You cannot be the one for others if you are not the one for yourself. Because then you multiply your energy and the gifts that you give to others. Now, look, I have dogs. I talk to them all the time. They love me, and they think I'm brilliant because they never interrupt me when I'm on one of my rants. But you know what? I work it out. I work it out in the garden, and then I come back to, what am I going to do? How will I do this? Who will I be today? Develop and strengthen your emotional intelligence. Now, here's what I mean by that. Recognize that you have feelings and they belong to you, not to other people. Don't put on other people what is yours. I live in a divided family, like so many. It's hard to have conversations at family dinners. We're afraid to bring up issues around our national administration. We can't, we strip ourselves of any of our political buttons because we don't want to have we don't want to fight. I'll fight. Let's fight. Let's fight it out. Help me understand how you chose what you did. Help me. But if I'm not emotionally grounded, and I know the pushback is me, not theirs, if I am the source of how people are being, who am I being? If I say to you, help me understand how you did that, and then I judge you immediately, you're not going to talk to me. You're not. You're not going to sit there and tell me. If I already know what I'm going to say to you before you even say it, why bother? So look at your feelings, recognize them. Know you have them, but know that you also have the power not to open your mouth. Just because you feel it doesn't mean it has to come out of your mouth. Today, I swear, you think it, and here it comes. Filter it, bud. It's just, I was talking to this guy last week, and he's like, and I wanted to say to him, you can't stop talking. You don't really have to say all. I am a Democrat. I know you're not. We're not going to agree. You want to get some ice cream and talk about what's at the Opera House? So when I ran for District 2 for the county board, the Republican Party put out this mailer that because I'm an openly gay woman, I've been out for a long, long time in McHenry County, accusing me of being a groomer. Now, I don't do dog grooming. Okay, I know that's not what they're talking about. Okay, fine. And so I got a copy of the letter, and I was like, dude, seriously? That I was recruiting children to be gay. Okay, that's a lot of work, first of all. I don't like kids all that much. No, I do like them. I do. I just they should just be who they are, right? But you put that in writing. You said that about me. You don't even know me. You have never talked to me. So my emotional intelligence kind of went out the window. I wanted to go grab this person who did it and say various words that I wouldn't say in this space, uncivilized. And then I was like, let it go. I know who I am. I know who I am in the world. I'm not that. I'm not a bully. I wouldn't do that to people. I lost the election. That's okay, because I'm called to do something different. I know that. There's something there for me to do next. I don't know what it is, but I'll be patient and I'll wait. I know that my feelings are real, but I know they're not always true, and I would love if everybody else could sort of grasp that concept before we talk. But if they can't, I will, because I take care of myself, because I listen. Being the one is an intentional act of stepping into your community, of stepping into your family. Are you the person who can say a kind word to somebody who's having a bad day? Are you a person who can step out of the way from somebody behind you that's yelling and screaming and beeping their horn at you? Are you the one who can step in a space and put love and peace and tranquility? Can you do that? Are you willing to do that? To be the counter energy to what's there? Can we love people we don't agree with? Can you be the one who drops that? You don't have to marry them. You don't have to hang out with them. Can you suspend your judgment long enough to put something else in the space? That is intentional. I will not judge you. I will not judge you. And I want to judge you. Come on. Our humanity, come on. We want to feel better in this time and place. We want to believe that this is going to pass and that in 2026 we're going to, whatever. We have this moment today in front of us here. This is all we have. This minute when you and I are in this space together with the willingness to create something new and transformative. Whether you like what I say to you or not, only you can make the difference in the space you're in. I can't make you do anything. I've been trying for 50 years. It hasn't worked. So I think you're kind of free spirits to choose who you be. Be intentional. Don't shirk your duty. We all have a duty, and if we are going to get through this, we will get through it together. I believe that we are going to come out of this stronger and better for having had to fight for it. We have never had to fight for it in the way that we're fighting for it now. So now we know how much freedom and liberty mean to us. Caring for our community. Now we know how much it means to us. There's no hiding out. Because I'll tell you, you are the one, every single one of you in the chair. You are the one right now, when you leave this building, later on in the afternoon, tomorrow morning when you get up. You are the one. And to abdicate your responsibility to be a beacon in the world is filled with regret and loss. So don't do that. If you need a day off, take a day off. Need a couple of days off, take it off. Refill yourself, and then get up and get back into the conversation, whatever that looks like in your world. Don't give up. Be like Winston Churchill. Never surrender. You know who you all are. I know who you are. I've seen you. I've seen you as a community. I know what you're capable of. I've watched you for years. So this is sort of like my call to action of you. Everybody's going to have to up their game. Everybody's going to have to do a little bit more for our neighbors who are going to be harmed by what's going on. But let's not do it with hate and bitterness. Let's do it with joy and love and compassion and mercy, because that we can do. You know, it's a radical departure from how I've lived most of my life. I've been charged with contempt. I almost went to jail. I'm like, yeah, put me in jail. I don't care. Oh, are strange people going to touch me? Oh, maybe I don't want to go. I don't know. I got to think about that. When you know what you're willing to do, when you know what the end of the road looks like for you, you're a free person. So whatever you can do, no matter how big or how small you think it is, every act matters. Every word matters. Every step takes us forward to a new day and a new dawn. I believe in you. Now it's time for people to believe in themselves, and let's be a cause for justice and joy. Thank you.